How's it going, guys? Semi here. Just doing a quick tutorial today on which camera angles is the best to use in GTA 5 racing. But before I get to that, I just want to give you a quick rundown on my channel, because for anyone who's already subscribed to me, you've probably noticed that my uploading trend has been a little sporadic lately, much like my subscriber count, but it's more to do with the fact that my iMovie program wasn't working for the last few weeks. So I had all this content ready to go, but I've only been able to upload any of it until the last few days. But my channel will mostly feature, it's fairly random, like it's rocks or diamonds, honestly. Like I'll put anything up that I think's either funny, entertaining, or cool, whatever, stuff that I find interesting to watch. Like, I'd love to do more hot lapping videos, but there's such a few amount of Rockstar races that I kind of like enough to do so I'd rather just do track showcases of my own creations to see if anyone would like to try them. But so these sort of videos where I'm talking will be fairly irregular. I'll only do them if there's something important to talk about, like a new DLC or a tutorial video like this one. I get that there's like a certain level of hubris I must have to think that, you know, my opinion matters, or that I can sort of tell anyone how to do something, but all this is just my opinion. That's all it is. It's what works for me, and I kind of feel like I have a good enough reputation and skill set to sort of touch on these matters. I don't fancy myself a big YouTuber or anything. You won't find me uploading videos every day and begging for likes and subscribers. I don't have the network to reach out to a much larger audience because of my connection issues, which brings me to another topic. So my dodgy connection is probably the main reason I make videos, because it makes it fun even if you're racing on your own, or if you only get a small amount of good footage. I can muck around and make videos with that. So it's also the main reason I haven't been using my mic lately as well, for anyone who was wondering. It's got to the point where I've never really lasted in the lobby for more than a couple of races and spend most of the time in the clouds. It not only makes my car lag, but it also makes my voice lag, so I get a lot of, huh? What? Can't hear you, dude. Static, dropping out. Yo, Sammy, you're fucking lagging all over the place, dude. Yo, Gamer God, kick that motherfucker, man. He's modding, dude. Level 800 my ass, dude. Look at him, he's lagging, he's flying all over the place. Fuck that guy. Like, people rage at me because of my connection constantly. Like, it's just, I'd rather not deal with it. I'm over it. And because of that, I find myself sort of just unplugging it completely. And I find myself like multitasking a little bit. Like, I have my computer here, so I'm either listening to a podcast or music or reading an online forum. Like, loading takes too long in games, so I always have something else going as well. So don't take offense to it if I'm not talking. I just don't have my mic plugged in. But I've been told by my internet provider that later this year we'll be getting NBN, so once my connection's fixed and I get back on, I'll be ready to go. Alright, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'll try and talk more about the topic at hand. So, which camera angles are the best to use in GTA 5 racing? So, I'll just say that this is completely subjective. Like, it's up to every single person as to how they drive best with which camera angles. Like, I'll tell you which ones work best for me, but yours might be completely different, and that's okay. But I'll try and sort of touch on each different one and say the benefits and pros and cons of each one. I also noticed that Picano did a video of this a few weeks ago, which was crazy, because I actually been wanting to do this for a while and he kind of beat me to it. But I just wanted to say that I'm not sort of like copying off him or anything. My opinion differs from him anyway. I respect what he does, but I just want to add my sort of 2 cents on it as well. So as you can see here, I'm using the mid-range camera, which is what I've always used, and it's worked best for me, especially in really tight races like this one. I just feel like close enough to get amongst the action and completely choke, like that instance on the very last corner. Oh god, that's embarrassing. But yeah, so the mid-range camera, the reason I like it is because you can see the inside of the car and get as close to the apex as possible. So you'll see on these few corners here, I've like highlighted these of a certain race because it sort of demonstrates how close you can sort of get if you're up close and you can watch the inside of your car and sort of skid the apex and accelerate through it. But here is a race where I think sort of gives a perfect example of the only times where I would ever use the right stick, because I don't do this race very often. This was in a random lobby of sorts, but if you've got a race that has lots of hairpins, lots of blind corners, sort of unapproachable, you're not familiar with it, you've never done it before, like it's all over the shop, you don't know the map, then the right stick is very handy, and I would really recommend you practice it and get used to it, because it opens up so much. You can see so much more when you use it. You can sort of make your own lines before you get around a corner. It's so much more visible. But it can hold you back sometimes. Like I feel like when I use the right stick, I'm a little bit limited in terms of speed. Like I've never gotten a crazy bullshit lap time using the right stick. Like every time I get a really good lap, it's when I just hold it off and let me push myself without it, because I find I'm kind of more focused. Like, because when you use the right stick, it completely changes the angle at which you're approaching a corner. Like if you're sizing up a corner perfectly and then you sort of bend the camera around too much, you might misjudge it completely again, because it's changing the angle at which you're looking at the road. I know that might be a hard concept to sort of, for people who use all the time and don't know the difference, to wrap their head around, but I really think it makes a huge difference to trying to hold your line sometimes if you overuse it. But another example of a sort of area where I use the right stick a lot is in the dockyard, because there's so many blind corners around there. Like I'm definitely quicker if I use the different camera angles in that area, because I can see so much more and everything becomes a lot more approachable. But so the last one to sort of cover on is the furthest one away. I haven't actually put an example in this video of the furthest one, but you all know what it looks like. So it's kind of been settled lately as if that's like the best camera angle to use. A lot of sort of high up respected races like Murphos and G-Unit have said so, and it does make sense. You can see the most of the road. The reason I don't use it all the time is because I'm using a fairly small television, so I find myself kind of squinting, like trying to see what's going on when I got it so far away, but I just kind of realised I've got such a small TV, I need to either upgrade or put it at a desk where I'm sort of sitting closer or something. But for me the mid-range one is certainly the best. But if I'm doing a hot lap, as you've noticed in a couple of my last track showcases, I find the far out camera is the best one for getting quick times. Like it's just, you can just throw yourself into corners so quickly. You can really size up the corners a lot better. I'd suggest if you're going for a hot lap, or you are confident enough seeing it from the furthest out camera angle, I'd say use that. But that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Thanks for watching.